I didn't really film my vlog from yesterday when I went to the thrift store. It's mainly because, well, part of it is because I forgot, but the other part was I was embarrassed. I'm not used to filming in public. So Midnight wants to say hi again. Hey, say hi. She's always here when the camera's on, but when I don't film her, she'll start to do really cute, silly things, and she'll start to talk when she's not on camera. But as soon as I turn the camera on, like, she'll come by, but she won't do anything cute. She'll just walk around. But anyways, I wanted to do a quick little haul video, if you will, of all the stuff that I got from the thrift store yesterday. It wasn't much because when I got there, it was already, they were closing at 6 o'clock, so I had like an hour. So I was going through all the t-shirts and stuff. And by the time I've gone through all the racks, they were 5 minutes about to close. So I didn't get a chance to look at the handbag or anything else that they had there. Going during the weekday is way better than going on the weekend. There's less people, and I think you might have a higher chances of finding, better products or products that haven't been picked by other people. But I went to the one by my house, which is not that great. Usually there's one downtown or one in near like the Cottonwood Heights or the Mill Creek area, which is like where all the rich people are at. Those ones tend to have, better stuff. But again, you want to go during the day, you have better chances. I don't know when they actually put out, their inventory. I'm assuming maybe daily, just because they get so many donations all the time. But I'm gonna be going there more often now that I just don't really have much going on. So anyways, I got mostly t-shirts. I really wanted to focus on more of clothing, like I mentioned before. Obviously I'm still very small, trying to scale up, so I don't really spend too much time going to like doing the whole bidding, or I don't know what the correct term is when you go into the big box, the big bins, and you kind of are rummaging through the stuff that they just received that day, and pay it by the pounds. I have not done that yet. I tried one time, but I was not prepared. I didn't have my gloves. It was a little bit overwhelming because it was my first time and it was on a Saturday. There was a lot of people. I didn't know what I was doing. So I would definitely try it again, probably on a weekday, and I'm gonna be more prepared with, better clothes, gloves, and probably, some snacks or something as well, and good shoes as well, because you're gonna be standing and rummaging through all sorts of stuff. So maybe I'll do a video on that if I end up doing that. But we do have one closer to downtown that they have, it's the same as a thrift store, except the inventory, they just receive the inventory and it's put into like the bins, and you can go through and pick out, there's clothing on one side, there's medias and books and other stuff that you can rummage through, and then you pay it by the pounds. So I definitely want to try that. But yesterday I just went to the regular thrift shop down the road, and normally what I do is, so I go through, I look for anything that really calls out to my attention. Obviously, any brand names that I think is significant or that people tend to go for, I would try to buy those. If the style, if the graphic is right and is in line with what I'm looking for. I really want to stick with, sort of the vintage, like retro, like oversized type of tees. It doesn't always have to be t-shirt, long sleeve is fine, or jacket, or sweaters, as long as they have that sort of aesthetic to them, the vintage feel, the design, the graphics, the sort of, if there's a brand name attached to it or not, and there's some value behind that. And then once I get them, I then, will we'll try it on. Actually, no, I usually throw them in the washer and dryer first before I take the photos, because that way it's all clean, and I can get better at pictures from like something that's been washed and smells better. So I would throw them all in the washer, wash them, dry them, steam them, and then I would hang them. And once they're ready to go, I would take pictures of them. Usually I have a mannequin, which it's in the other room, and then I put it on, take the photos, and post the information. And it takes a long time. Like, I can see why this can be very daunting just for one person. And it could be a very difficult business to build up. Some of it is due to competition, but also just the fact that it could be a lot of work. It's an all-day type of work, especially the content, the imagery, the steaming, the preparing for photo, the taking photos of it takes a long time as well. So just be mindful of all of that if you are interested in going into it. Like I said, I'm very just new, beginning, and so I can't give a lot of tips, but I'm just sharing my experience as I go along this journey right now. So anyways, I've been talking way too much. So I've got a few t-shirts. 2 of them are from a different thrift shop from another day. I just haven't had a chance to get them from my car and put them all together and put it in the washer yet, but I'm gonna do it all at once today. So I'll go through and share them. So we have 2 types of thrift shop. Well, we have a lot of like vintage and antique shops across Utah, of course. But there are 2 sort of main, the biggest thrift store in Utah is one that's owned by the Church of Jesus Christ, the LDS Church. And then there's one, I think it could be a franchise, I don't know. And it's called Savor, yeah. That's also a thrift shop, but it's a lot more expensive than the thrift shop, the Deseret thrift shop, owned by the LDS Church. And I think there's another one called Goodwill, which I don't think that's owned by the LDS. But anyways, so those are the good ones that everybody tends to gravitate towards. But anyways, I don't want to talk anymore. Let's just go through this. So the 2 shirts that I got from Savor, and I'll try to include, I'm gonna actually take a photo of me wearing it and stuff, so that way you can kind of see what it looks like if you are interested in looking at them or maybe buying them, hopefully. But all of these ranges from, the more expensive one are the Savor one, which is about $6, $5 to $6. And then usually at the Goodwill or the thrift shops, you can find a lot of the t-shirts are between, I think, $3 and $4. If it's like a thicker material or like a longer sleeve, maybe it's more like $5 or $6. But other than that, it's fairly decent price. But again, when you are reselling it, you have to add in sort of your not production time, but the time that it takes for you to actually go through, find the product. You have to take into consideration cleaning, the time that you steam, you iron, that you lint roll everything to make sure it looks good, the photography, all the time that you were taking into just putting up a listing. You're gonna have to kind of think about all of that and how much to bake the cost into that. And then also, like I mentioned before, shipping is probably the highest cost that you'll have to bake into your retail, which, depending on time of year, how big the product is, how heavy, what carrier you use, it's going to vary, but it's going to be the most expensive. And it could be anywhere from like $10 to $15 to ship something. Some maybe are a little bit cheaper if you could, I don't know, find a carrier that is a lot more competitive. But for the most part, shipping is going to take a lot of your profit, and you're kind of have to bake that into the cost. Even though something is only like $5, you know, you have to also make money out of it, you know, if you're going to step into this type of business. So anyways, the first item that I got from Savor is this top right here, which, you know what, maybe I'll show it, but I'll go ahead and try them on too. So this is the, what does it say? Fresh air, free of charge. And on the bottom it says all you can breathe, and it just has the mountains. It's very like outdoorsy, very colorful, almost like retro kind of style. And this, I think the brand is called Stoic. I'm not sure. It's an outdoor brand. I've seen it on Backcountry. They also have an online presence as well. And the other one, I think this one I'm gonna keep for myself because it's just too simple. And I do like this is, I don't know if this is worth $5, but it's just a little rose, like a little antique rose with a snake all around it on the bottom or in the middle. It's very cute. And it's just off-white. Both of them are off-white. They're not white. And this one is a size large. The other one is a size small. It's a small, but it looks pretty big. But super cute. And then those two are the ones from Savor, and the rest I got from the Deseret thrift shop. So this one caught my eye because I really like, first of all, I like the oversize of this. I like how thick it is. I like how like the material seems very durable. The color is also kind of in for the season with the periwinkle blue, and I like the collar as well. Everything is just very well made in this, and the fact that it still has its own tag on there, I thought that was really cool. But the brand, or it says Sister and Seekers, I think that's what it says. The brand is Sisters and Seekers. Yeah, Sisters and Seeker. And it's a real, you know, it's a legitimate brand. They sell a lot of really sort of I don't know, on trend kind of type of, almost has a Supreme feel to it. But this one's very boxy, very oversized, super cute. It has the stars around it. So I thought this was really unique, and I think that because of the quality and the brand name that comes with it, I think that, you know, you can probably mark it up just a little bit. The next one is this tee from Habitat, and again, Habitat is another pretty well-known brand, t-shirt brand. This one's very Utah in my opinion. I love the wolves all around. It actually goes all the way around front and back. The moon, and very boxy, very oversized, and yeah, it's a really pretty like teal or turquoise blue as well. And this one is in a size medium. Oh, this one's extra large. The last one, this one is I believe is a large. Oh no, this one's a medium. Yeah, this one's a medium, I guess. I don't know. Okay. All right, next one is this one I'm kind of excited about too. I thought this one's really cute. Very like, it's a, you know, one of those tie-dye, but very sort of wearable tie-dye, not the ones where super bright, where, you know, you probably don't want to wear that out all the time because it's so bold. But this one's a little bit more tame, right? It's a little more charcoal color. It says Cookies. Cookies is another t-shirt brand that is really in line with the Sisters and Seekers. This one's in size extra large. Again, very boxy. I like that it still looks very new, but very like vintage at the same time. And at the bottom, it just has like cookies. But yeah, I love it. I love the look of this, and I think that there's some people that are going to like that style as well. And then the next one is, actually I'll save that one for last because I thought that one's funny. I got four more. This one is, the brand is Ocean Current. This is in a size medium, I believe. Yep, medium. And just very, you know, a little bit more outdoorsy, kind of vintagey as well, with the mushroom and like the retro color in the back. I thought this was cute. I think like a lot of people who are into the outdoors and hiking and all that would be very interested in something like this. So I picked that one up. All right, the other one is Hui Original. Again, Hui is another t-shirt brand. I think a lot of what they do is more, I could be wrong, I think more Western type of style or Western type of graphics, like cowboys, and this one obviously is a little bit different, but it has a little bit more of a vintagey feel. Has the logo right there, Hui, and then the color is just, you know, the bright, super bright blue. This is in a size large. It's 100% cotton, so it feels really nice too. This one looks almost brand new. And then one other one, or one after this one. So I had another vintage Budweiser shirt that I just sold a couple weeks ago, I think, that I priced wrong, so she got a deal out of that. Bless her heart. Yeah, it sold really quickly because, you know, I think the sort of the vintage sort of brand Budweiser and all that does really well, or like Ford, if you can find that. I think those one people tend to gravitate towards. But I found another Budweiser one, and this one's in a different color, and it still looks very brand new, and I really like the look of this too, with the horse, and like the color and everything just kind of works. And this one's in XXL, so, you know, as a vintage feel, but at the same time it still has really good quality because it doesn't seem like it's been used that much at all. So I think this one will be a good one to sell. And then last but not least, I thought this one was really funny. I was debating on getting this one because I'm like, could it be like controversial? But at the same time, you know, it's a t-shirt. It's just, it just has, you gotta have a sense of humor sometime. And I think this was cleverly done. But anyways, it's an off-white shirt, and it's by the brand Comfort Colors. Not familiar with it, but it is 100% cotton, and I like the quality of this as well. It feels really nice, very durable, very thick, and very like boxy, oversized t-shirt. But if you could see, let me just read it first. Like I can't read it backward. United States without illegal aliens, and then it just lists, it has a picture of the United States, and then it just lists all the different Native American tribes across the states. I just thought it was funny, and I think, you know, some people might find humor in that. I mean, it is true, but it also has a little bit of kind of a cheekiness feel to it. And I think that's it. So altogether, I think that was, plus the $10 that I spent at Savor, so like 30 something dollars for both stores, which is not too bad. So now goes into the washer, and then I would just iron it, steam it, lint roller it, and then hang it, take pictures of it, write content for it. So lots of work, but it's fun. I actually really have been enjoying doing this more than the other adventures that I've been getting myself into. I've applied for a few jobs today. I'm working on more of my graphics on the canvas side. I've been trying to figure out how to do digital downloads. I've created some invitations, like invites, for like parties, and I know Halloween is coming up, so I want to kind of lean into that a little bit as well. So I created like invitation sort of posters for like really unique theme parties that people can pick from. Very obscure one actually. And kind of create like the posts that go with that theme. So I hope it's unique, and I hope it's, you know, somewhat is clever, that people would find it and say, oh, this is cool, you know, let me just get this. It's downloadable. It's $5, you know, whatever, for 5 different template, 5 different themes. So I'm gonna try to figure out how to upload that or work on that, because I haven't been able to. So anyways, that's my update for today. Thank you for watching.